Okay, we got a little badge. You just disappeared for a second there. A little nice, see me now you don't.
Spotted
Um,
cow and a Badger hat.
it's a great beer. It's a great beer.
Taste.
Packers are playing good football, and more importantly, person's in. That's why we do the pod. That's what we're here for. King of lip pillows. You know, those Badgers up there, they don't just stay warm by burrowing down in the ground. They throwing a nice little pillow. Nice there, deep. Little deep in them little bad. They got gums in there. It's not very
Oh yeah, they do.
got a little gums, maybe shove it up the toots a little bit.
Yeah. You ever seen a badger fight off a very large beast, maybe a bear? You wonder why how he's able to do that? It's because
Lip
he's
pillows.
ferocious. It's because he's got a nice Zenny top shelf. He's probably rocking 2 6 millis at
No,
the
he's
same time,
12
and he's
million.
just getting after it. So I am embracing my inner badger after a nice 133 point week from the commish, and the commission's on a nice little run here, 2 games in a row. I'm feeling good about the team. I'm feeling good about the Zins. I'm feeling good about the pod. We missed a couple weeks. Shit happens. Life happens.
I will take direct. That was more so the counter host on my side than Schmig. We had a couple texts back and forth. Turns out, honestly, I like my family more than you guys sometimes. Just in my sleep. So just fuck you guys if you want to complain. If you definitely want to step in every now and again and take some of the burden off, you guys go for it. But Tegan, honestly, too, about to be dad, about to be dad number two,
At number two.
dad number two. So Tegan's gonna have lots of time. Maybe not so much, I guess. But technically, he's not working, so.
I'll fire off a couple solo
He
pods if I
might he might just be throwing in some crazy stats or just making some waiver moves for like a Lamade Zacchaeus or some shit.
can.
Maybe what does this guy know that we don't know? He's got all the time. He's just chilling
I'll
at
be in
home.
the lab for sure.
But excited for you, buddy. But just make sure he's wearing Texan red and blue, not that gross green and yellow.
Well, Tommy's already got his Halloween costume. It is none other than a Jordan Love football jersey because, we're playing at an MVP level right now. Jordan Love, you look at all the advanced stats and he's just dialed in, slings the ball down the field, looks good, putting up points, almost lost to the Bengals, but that's fine. That was a trap game. 14 and a half point favorite, trap game. Joey Flacco slinging the rock. I saw there was a point in the game. We're up by about 14. I think it was Keyshawn Nixon, made a great play on the ball. Jamar Chase, but this is where he went wrong. Hit the gritty on Jamar. 2 plays later, Jamar 30-yard touchdown. Jamar returns the favor, hits the gritty right back on us. So, rule number one: never hit the gritty on Jamar. Rule number two: J.J. Watt learned this. Never hit the discount double check on Aaron Rodgers because he did that at NRG Stadium. Aaron
Talk
Rodgers
about a guy who's
six
just
touchdowns.
still just slinging the rock right
Dude,
now.
dude, I'm just telling you, it's not pretty, but when he gets outside the pocket and he's still throwing these absolute fucking lasers,
He moves like an absolute gimp,
but
but
it just,
but his
oh my goodness.
it's literally it's just eh.
He threw a touchdown to Darnell Washington last week on Sunday, and I think Orlovsky might have got out the lotion and some napkins, and he was jizzing himself over this throw. I mean, he broke it down. He was like, "This is just beautiful," and it was rolling to the right. Rogers hits one of these with his finger and just delivers a fucking BB, 35-yard strike back shoulder. I mean, it was just absolutely gorgeous.
It,
Rogers can still sling it, and guess what? The Steelers have only lost once.
it's
They're
amazing.
doing something right.
I mean, let's be honest, they've never really had solid quarterback play, and
Well, not since
the
Big
blood.
Ben.
Not, I mean, as of recently, right?
Yes.
Obviously, Big Ben was the last, which is shit. How long ago was that? Like 10 years ago? I don't know. How long?
I don't
10
know.
years maybe?
Time's a flat circle. Who knows, man?
You went and saw him live. Actually, when the Packers lost that, I believe.
No, we beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Big Ben, yes, we beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. And Jerry World, Aaron Rodgers,
Hmm.
MVP. It was just a beautiful game.
Nah, stand corrected.
I was there.
I wouldn't know what that's like. But yeah,
Maybe one day.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not in my lifetime. Coopers, we got a chance. Let's get into football. Uh, what we have for you guys, we're coming up, believe it or not, at least for fantasy purposes, this week is the halfway. So we're not there yet. So like you don't have to fill in the dumps, but next week it's like, holy shit, we're halfway through.
Next week we're on the way down. I mean, and honestly, it's very fucking sad because
Uh,
we're already almost halfway through the year. Where is the time gone?
Big
We're
Cat talked about this at the very start, and he's like, at this very start of the year, he's like, dude, just relish those those Tuesday night games. I saw there was a Tuesday night game going on today. He's like, just relish Middle Tennessee versus Troy. Like, just relish those moments because
100%.
it's gonna flash, and then football's gone, and
God, it's
it's
gone.
literally the worst thing ever. I don't
Yeah.
care. Baseball, I could playoff baseball. I mean, is actually pretty entertaining, but baseball sucks. Basketball sucks. Nothing compares. Everything pales in comparison. It's the worst. And it's literally when it's leading up to football season, I'm a kid in a candy store. It's what got me through going back to school as a child, is that football season was here. It's the only thing that got me back to be like, oh my God, my life's over. School's here. I'm gonna kill myself. Homework, all this different stuff. It's like, oh wait, I get to play a football game the first Saturday of my
Yep.
school year. I can
Yep.
live. I cannot. I won't commit suicide. I'll do it.
Life is complete when football season starts. Enjoy waking up at 8:30 and watching the Jets go for a combined 84 yards in the game and squeaking out a loss 11-13. You got to enjoy that. It might not seem enjoyable when you're watching. You're like, this is the worst football game maybe I've ever watched.
It is football,
Enjoy it.
but
It
it
is
is
football.
football.
It is football.
It's like God, what's the quote where he's like, you know, Jack Sparrow. He's like, you've got to be the worst pirate I've ever heard of, and he goes, "Ah, but you have heard of me, haven't you?"
And
You know what I'm
I
saying?
am a pirate. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But all right. So again, coming up on the halfway point here, Tegan and I did blind, no conspiracy theory here, totally blind ranking, and this is power rankings. Now, I think we probably did a poor job of outlining like what is the power ranking? Is it as it sits today? Is it how they've done up to this point? Is it projecting moving forward, or is it all encompassing? I think my power ranking is more so of a projection moving forward, slightly to how they've done, but more so focused on what the team looks like now. So taking into fact like injuries, taking into fact, new ads and things of that such. I think Tegan maybe did a balance of the two, which is probably how we should have done it. So we didn't really state that. So like, although majority of ours are pretty on par with a couple differences, skewing on some stuff I wouldn't agree with on your power ranking specifically, and probably the same for mine, but we will get into it. So without further ado, I'm not going to share anything just because it's a basic piece of shit PowerPoint or Excel. But coming in here is Trumpster. Uh,
Number
God,
one, unanimous. Unanimous number one.
unanimous number one. It is absolutely brutal for me to watch this, but also going back to a court case has now been deferred apparently for another year because of Terry's health. Um, this just further supports the court case fully.
It
Terry
does.
has never played to this level in his entire life, and all of a sudden, 2 years in a row, is a top four contender. And by the way, this year we have him as power ranking number one. I don't think this is a statistical anomaly. I
Nope.
think there's one common denominator, and I mean one, as in there's one manager for this football team, and that is Max. That is
You're doing
Max.
a hell of a job, Max.
Change the name from Trumpster to Mad Max, which is Trumpster
Good
is,
name.
but Mad Max is a dope name.
Good
You can
name.
see one of those crazy looking, into the world bohemians on there, just maybe like the hot chick with like one leg or like the leg who got cut off. Max, you could do it. You can always separate annex, annex.
A
Uh,
little hostile
it-
takeover. Hostile takeover.
you've
The
seen it
real question
before.
is,
It has. This wouldn't be the first time in the league. We remember a
it
team
would,
by the
it
name of the
would,
League Ops.
it would not be the first. The real question is if everything goes perfectly according to plan and the Trumpsters ends up hoisting that trophy at the end of the year, who takes it home? Max or Terry?
Uh, I know where I bet Bob.
I know where it's deserved. I know who
I,
deserves
I,
that trophy.
I couldn't. I fully agree with you, but Terry's gonna say, well, Max, you guys, you're gonna drink beer out of it, and I have a nice place up here in my corner of my garage where Cody's given me 5 beer signs that I haven't even put up, but he nicely gave them to me. But they could be put right there and get some dust on them.
It's a good team. Um,
I'll tell you what, we're not getting 2 rings. Don't expect 2 rings.
no, absolutely
That's not in
not.
the budget.
Absolutely not.
Not in the budget.
Not in the budget.
But
Kaiser's didn't get 2 rings, and they're probably an even 50-50 co-manager. I don't know
well,
who's
they
got
both
the
suck, so it just makes sense. They're
yeah, makes
both
sense.
terrible. I mean, that's the easy one.
Yeah.
They've always sucked. That's pretty straightforward. Uh,
Uh,
but
Drake May, Drake May, quarterback for Flyboy. May's playing at an MVP level right now. He's been consistent all
currently
year.
QB 6 now. Again, a little bit skewed with bye weeks and such, but played really damn good football. Actually, was a player on my football team at one point, but moved on.
Yeah, Uh, nice,
But
Cody. I
we've
think
had
that
some other good pickups that have been right there, so it wasn't terrible. Brees Hall. I mean, I don't know. Let's get an update. He's cooled off. He's been what you've needed from like an RB2 standpoint. Just like give me a consistent 10 to 15. I'm not gonna
yeah.
kill it, but that's what you need there. Same for David Montgomery, but let's be honest about this team. Like he drafted in a similar fashion that I did, just the way the board played. Apparently, he just picked way better receivers than I did. Because Puka Nakua is probably the fantasy superstar #1, if not for, Jonathan Taylor. Um, but Puka's dealing with an ankle injury. A little bit worrisome. Wait, why the fuck on the app does it have LeBron
It's
James?
LeBron's face. See, everybody pull up the sleeper app. Puka's face is LeBron.
No, they've done this a couple times fucking with people. I don't know if they got hacked or what happened.
No, they just like to have fun.
Someone had a Raven face.
They like to have fun. It's because Puka said before every single game, and Devontae's like, this dude, I don't know why he does it, but every single game, before every game, he just pulls up YouTube and looks at LeBron James highlights. And Devontae's like, every game, I was like, what does this have to do with football? But Puka's just watching LeBron James highlights. So I think Sleeper kind of heard that and ran with it. So Puka just continues to ball. He's the #1 receiver, and then #2 receiver in the NFL and fantasy is Jackson Smith-Njigba, who the Trumpsters also has. So he has
Guys,
wide receiver 1 and 2, and then you got CD coming back maybe this week. So you're talking, on a forward-looking basis, could legitimately have 3 of the top 5 receivers to finish out the year,
pretty
and
insane.
that's
Tucker
insane.
Tucker Kraft just playing great football again. Skewed some of the numbers. I know tight end's a dumpster fire, but again, he's had his bye week, so again, the ranking's not as accurate. Um, Quinshon Judkins, been a pretty big revelation for the Browns. So again, I mean, it's a good football team, dude. There's just
It's a good football
Jordan
team.
Mason. I mean, there's
Yeah,
really
he's gonna have to, when CD comes back, he'll have his 3 receivers. There's this auto fill in every week. He's gonna
a
have to
running back game.
decide.
Like, how do you pick? I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good issue to have, though. Like, that's
yeah.
what a #1 overall rank is going to do. So, as much as I'd love to say that, I just hope someone gets injured on your team. Seriously, um, just with
Don't put. Hey, I did not. I didn't say that.
all
I
due
didn't say
respect.
that. I don't hope for injuries.
I'm sorry, not for the actual person, more so just for your demise. But yeah, I take that back. I don't wish injury on anyone, but if it should happen, just know that I'm not, shedding tears for it at least. Green Jackets was actually we have a three-way tie here. Just on averaging points. Tegan did his rankings, I did mine. Three-way tie between Green Jackets, Bruiser, and Commish. If you're wanting to know where these went and why they're skewed, I had Green Jackets as my #2, Bruiser at #3, and Commish at #4. Tegan had them completely inverted, where he had himself at #2, Bruiser at 3, and Green Jackets at 4. Um, and then Tegan did bring up he probably should have had Green Jackets higher. given the forward-looking basis of Rashee Rice possibly coming into the fold here. Tegan,
Yep.
can you give some more background on that thought process?
Yeah, so I mean, Green Jackets. I did a little bit of backwards looking and forwards looking, kind of an evenly distributed weight. But if I look at Rasheed coming back on a forward looking basis, and you being able to roll out, Rasheed Rice and Amon-Ra St. Brown every single week, combined with QB, I believe QB3 and tight end one stack with Dak and Ferguson, that right there alone is extremely strong. Where I dinged you a little bit is with, I think, Bucky coming back forward looking. Rashad's obviously going to fall off. And then Kamara is just kind of been meh all year. Genty is getting the volume. The Raiders stink. So I think he's kind of a matchup driven kind of running back. If he gets a good, good draw, bad defense, I think he's going to go off. But against good teams, I could see him having some pretty low floor weeks because the Raiders' offensive line is terrible. The good thing is the volume's there for him.
His
So
targets are starting to increase in the pass game too. So he has 4 targets and 7 targets in the past 2 games. So I think that can help a little bit. But yeah, his schedule after the bye week is pretty brutal, specifically as how they're planning his running
Well, they
back.
got to play the AFC West, right? And those are all, pretty good run defenses. So I think that's going to be tough. He has
Uh,
Garrett Wilson on the bench as well, so he could plug and play him in there. Garrett Wilson's hurt right now. I'm not exactly sure what he got hurt with. And then not to mention Justin Fields just threw for 45 yards last week. So how reliable is Garrett Wilson? I don't know. He's
As a
been good thus
Justin
far.
as a Justin Fields owner, what they do is they get down early and
They
they
just sling it in the fourth
throw the
quarter.
football. So Justin Fields will still end up, despite last week. Again, he's only good against middle of the pack to bad defenses. You play good defense, he's done for. I mean, I think
Done.
he got sacked 9 times last week. I think
He
another
did.
thing we're forgetting about is also Kamara trade talks. There
Not going to happen.
there have been murmurs. I
Not going to.
know the coach said that, hey, this is not happening, but maybe smoke and mirrors to try and, I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So, but
I think it would be great if Kamara got traded. He has came out multiple times and says that he only wants to play for the Saints. He doesn't care how bad they are. That's where he wants to play.
he's
And so,
just stinky, so it just makes sense. It's just where he needs to be. Like that's just that he's just got that like New Orleans vibe in him, dude. Just
yes.
just
Yeah. So I think yeah, Green Jackets, the receiving core, tight end, QB are nice. The RBs are all right. That's where I dinged you a little bit, but it's a good solid team.
So that was Green Jackets. We'll go Bruiser and then you again. Just no particular order. These are all averaging in the 2 slot here. Uh, where's Bruiser? Where are you?
I mean, Bruiser's shining star is he's got McCaffrey and A Chain. Like those two guys every week.
They're good at football. He's one McCaffrey injury away though from having a very different outlook on the football team, as well as Rico Dowdle the past 2 weeks has been a knight in shining armor, which I was telling Tegan my whole story. Think maybe it'd be funny for you guys to know, just to know how terrible of a manager I've been lately. I would probably fire myself if I was the GM. So it comes out, there's probably like 4 different backup running backs that have a legitimate chance to start with some injuries on the horizon. I go ahead and end up picking up Michael Carter, who ends up being a good decision after Teague pick up DeMarcado. I pick up Rico Dowdle because there's murmurs of Hubbard not playing. Well, come to find out, hey, he practiced in some form or fashion. Maybe he's going to play. And then all of a sudden, boom, Bucky Irving's down. Well, I went to pick up Shaw White. He's gone. So I'm like, oh, it's Sean Tucker guy. He freaking went off like 40 points last year. I know he's got some ball in him. Is Rashad White maybe the third down back still? And Sean Tucker's fixing up the run game. We know he can play ball. Well, I go ahead and do it. And come to find out, probably within 30 minutes of me doing that, Chuba Hubbard's not playing. I go back to pick up Rico Dowdle, and fucking little snatcher, swiper, no swiping over there, bruiser. I swear this guy, he's probably has 30 more transactions than anyone in the league, and just fucking picked him up. And
He is. Have
now
we found out? Is he outsourcing his ad drop to maybe a
I
call
think it's
center in
AI. I
India
think
or
it's AI.
Bangladesh?
It's
Might be
AI.
a. It might be one of those Bangladesh call centers. He's got a team on full time staff, just picking up because Caleb is active, active, active. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Gave him his flowers for being active. This one paid off huge for him. Hit it with the ad drop. It kind of says a lot about the rest of the league that nobody else had the foresight to pick up Dowdle. We got some fun facts later, but I'll just throw this in while we're on the topic. Dowdle has now rushed for over 100 yards in 6 of his last 9 starts. So yeah, maybe he's not going to rush for Jim Brown 200 yards a week, but the guy when he plays, he produces, and it'll be interesting to see how the Chuba affects him when he comes back. But how can you not continue to ride this guy until the wheels fall off for the time being?
I think some things to think about here for this team. Emeka Egbuka has a hammy injury. Apparently, he got an MRI today. Did you see anything on the updates there?
No, I did not. I did not.
Hammy injuries are usually a minimum of 4 weeks. Those are not, I'm coming
Not good.
back in a week injury. So
Okay.
he'll be going out. I think Juwan Jennings is becoming healthier again, so that could help refresh. But the depth is something I worry about for this football team, as well as, Harold Fannon's been solid at tight end. So, like, I'm not going to bash because tight end's just a dumpster fire in general, other than three guys. Um, so, yeah, good football team. I do worry about depth and some bye week issues. But he's made good decisions thus far. Probably go and pick up another guy that I dropped later on that will go for
Yeah, and JMO finally had a little bit of a breakout game. He's been terrible all year. So shout out to JMO. Debo had a bad game, but he's been pretty damn consistent all year. So I really like this team. Now, one last piece before we move on. Dowdle, just one last Dowdle thing because you know what? I'm a little upset about him. I made 15 DraftKings lineups this last weekend, didn't put him in a single one. There's no way he could go back to back and do it. And of course, I mean, you had to have him. But Dowdle also, the last 2 games, has played the worst and third worst rushing defenses in the NFL.
That's correct.
So let's see what happens going forward. Is all I'm saying.
I think regardless, even when Hubbard comes back, if that offensive coordinator doesn't at least do like a 50-50 split, he should be fired.
Yep,
There's no
100%,
explanation.
100%.
Would make zero sense. All right, moving on. Commish, Baker Mayfield is having an MVP caliber season. I
MVP.
find it absolutely hilarious for Vander and any Browns fans that, again, just like letting these guys go. They're like, oh, we can't draft, good quarterbacks. It's been however many years. No, it's your coaching, dude. It's a toxic environment.
Not the coaching; it's the whole entire organization.
It's what I was getting at. It's the
Terrible.
whole thing. It's the whole thing, right? Just terrible. Just clean house. CEO, whoever the owners are, is it the Brown fan? Who is it? I don't know who owns the Browns. Is it shares? Is it a Packers situation? You can buy in. Is it private equity? I don't know. Who owns the Browns?
Isn't it Haslam?
Jimmy Haslam?
Isn't it?
Hold on.
Come on, dude. Jim Haslam.
Ah, that's right. Jimmy and D Haslam.
Yeah, come on, man. We
Well,
know ball over here. We know ball over
it's
here.
not like you were super confident about it. So, you
Oh,
know,
you maybe second guess.
anyway, Jimmy Haslam. Yeah, those guys are idiots. But Baker's just playing great football, even despite not having all three top receivers when
He's
Booker
just a
went down.
fucking gamer, man. He's just a
Just,
gamer. I
just
don't know if you watched this game. He was throwing to Tez Johnson, this guy named Keon Johnson, who nobody knew who he was. And there was a play on 3rd and 14, had to have it
smacked,
moment.
smacked.
Yep, smacked by 2 people. Somehow gets out of it and then hits a little millie rock on a I think a corner or a safety, picks up the first down on 3rd and 14 and gets up just fired up. The guy is just a game.
He just has that football. He's just a football dude, like kind of like Scattaboo, who happens to also be on your team. Just
I got football dudes on my
good
team.
football dudes.
That's why I'm wearing the Badger hat. We're
And
gritty.
by the way, if you want to see something fun, Scattaboo has like a Viking, helmet, also looking kind of like Mr. Freeze from Batman, if you know the reference.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going
I
with
don't
there.
know what's going on, but essentially this guy is just a bull. Um, he's been he's been touchdown. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean,
Dude, what do you mean?
I got nothing wrong to say about the actual player himself. Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find something wrong. There's nothing wrong with this guy. He's good at football. He's had like a 12 point 21. Yeah, he's good at football. Scadaboo's good. Tyron Tracy, I don't think's even in the fold. Josh Jacobs, good at football. George Pickens, we'll see. He's getting huge volume right now with CD out. But even when CD was there, 15 points, you're not going to bat an eye at, which is what he was averaging even at that time. Kelsey, very touchdown dependent. I worry about again with Rashid coming back, but again, tight ends of dumpster fire. Travis Kelsey's been serviceable. Jameer Gibbs, actually, from where you drafted him early on, not quite the value there, but still obviously a top 12 running back by far and away. Where I see the issue here is, um, T. Higgins. How do you play that guy? Zay Flowers, like these are inconsistent guys. But again, just to go back to it, like with Caleb's situation, like if you're gonna have to make that one roster decision a week that's gonna drive you crazy or either make or break your week, you just got to pick the right guy. Uh,
Yeah, you look,
Amani Vidal, even then though, like you have him as depth, but you might kick yourself in the nuts. Like, how do you start him over
can't.
Scadaboo or Jacobs or Gibbs? You can't. So that's why it sucks because it's like, do you be bold and then go and start that guy, and then all of a sudden
Oh,
it's not the right decision. Everyone leaves like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, but then there's gonna be games where he's like, he has 23 points and he goes off. Like same with Tyler Algier, best handcuff in football probably outside of San Francisco. Good team. Again, all three of these teams we talked about, we're just nitpicking in terms of Green Jackets, Bruiser, Commiss. They're all good teams. They are in the power rankings where they're at for a reason.
fun fact, there's a lot of rumors heating up about Chris Olave getting traded, which I think is very likely to happen. I got Shaheed on the
Giants,
team. I got Giants or the Steelers, apparently.
Steelers.
Um,
Yeah, I saw Steelers in there
I
looking.
got Shaheed on the team, and it's not going to be pretty, but I mean, if Olave leaves, there's 12 targets a game maybe going to Shaheed. So nice little pickup. I saw Cody, you dropped him. Would love for him to end up being a baller and just another little egg in the face there.
I mean, fun fact, when he had a halfway decent quarterback last year, he was wide receiver two
Yeah, he's good, man.
or before he got hurt. So
He's good.
he's good at football. He just bad football team. All right, moving here, we have Golden Nuts. No tie here, sitting outright, just barely skimming hard eight with an average of 5.5. Let's find us some nuts. Jalen Hurts, good good at football, consistent 20 points a week, pretty much just count it. Javonte Williams came back to earth. So he's had, I mean, let's be honest, this guy's been the biggest steal in the entire draft. There's nothing that you could ever be upset, even to this point. If he were to get injured, never play the rest of the year, you've already got more
Was a win.
value out of him
Yeah.
than where he's been drafted. So 5.9 again. It was a good it was a good rush defense in Carolina. He's got Washington, which looks to be a better matchup. So I think he'll come back. Again, James Cook too. So just kind of a very odd week with James Cook and Javante having rough weeks. But again, those two guys I think are going to be studs going forward. Keenan Allen, um, wishy-washy, right? Started the year with 3 games of 14 and a half or higher, and then hasn't eclipsed 8 points since. So maybe kind of the hype was over on him. But again, he's an older guy. Is it kind of wearing and tearing on the body? I don't know. Devontae Adams could really step into a much bigger role if Puka misses time. I think they confirmed today that actually just read it. Puka avoided a serious injury, so good for Trumpster. But even then, just how physical he plays, there's a chance they hold him out. You have a bye week in week 8. You know,
Makes a lot of
you go
sense. Makes
back to back, so it could make sense. So I think Devontae might be able to eat against a very juicy Jacksonville team. And honestly, the next, how crazy was it? How like the NFL is insane. Like the Texans go torch Baltimore for 40 plus, and then you have LA, who's supposed to be like play everyone, roll Matty Stafford out there like they're going to torch him. And they had 3 points at halftime. Like they turned it on eventually, but NFL's crazy. Like these are
That's
good
crazy.
football players. Even the bad football teams, they make adjustments. It's not college. We're like, oh, we're gonna go fall asleep at halftime and then come out and get our dick kicked in even more. Like more times than not, they make adjustments and
Yep.
figure it out. Jamar Chase looks like he could have someone who could throw him the football.
Yeah.
There's a big projection moving forward and helping him out. Bucky Irving, when does he get back? Again, huge injection. When you have that combination of rolling out Javante, James Cook, Bucky Irving, taking Keenan Allen out of the lineup, moving Jamar Chase in there, this can be a scary football team moving
Very scary football team.
with Godwin and Pittman and Olave, who you just talked about, all on ice. Talk
Yep.
about talk about the opportunity. I don't even know if one thing's missing, I think maybe it's tight end here with Hawkinson, who's not terrible, and Njoku, who's not terrible. If I've heard murmurs of Njoku actually being moved to the Texans at the trade deadline,
Oh, that'd be fucking fantastic.
which I would love.
Yeah.
Because you need tight end depth. Whatever the fuck that other white guy we have is not good at football.
Honestly, just get Schultz out of the game. Put Njoku in there as a
I would
starter right
I
away.
would love that. But this is a good football team, and I could really see them making a push forward. And they have depth. Now, again, where do some of these injuries, come from with Bucky Irving and Godwin and some of these other guys? I don't know how it looks, but good football team. Moving forward here, I'll let you take this one. I talked a lot on Golden. I'll let you take Hard Eight.
Hard eight. Hard eight, we'll give you your flowers. I think we had you damn near at the bottom of the league after our first pod, which was, I think, after week two. It wasn't looking like it was on the up and up. But things have turned around for you. I think you've won four straight since that podcast. So we put the bad juju on you. You flipped it on our head. You got Josh Allen. Obviously, he had a bad week last week, but the guy's probably going to score 25 a week going forward. And then Bijan Robinson. I mean, the guy, I was talking to Tanner on the phone today. He might be the best football player in the NFL right now. He
He
is
gives
just
me
an
vibes
absolute stud.
When Saquon came out, and that I remember watching him his first preseason game for the Giants, and I just saw him make a couple moves, and I was like, this guy is different.
Different. He's
He
different.
just makes a sudden move where no one else in the league moves like that or can make that move, and it's effortless. Bijan has that look, and
Bijan's on
that's
pace for like 2,600 all-purpose yards. Saquon actually in the NFL top 100 this week. He was like, I feel like I'm pretty nice, but he's like, Bijan's different. I mean, he came out and gave Bijan his flowers. Bijan's RB1, but he was drafted that way. So Dylan drafted him RB1, first overall pick. It was the right move. He's an absolute stud.
can't win the league with your first round pick, but you can lose it.
You can lose it, and you definitely did not lose it with that. Now, where it gets a little bit skeptical after that is RB2 is Travis Etienne.
Etienne's come back down to earth after starting red hot. Um, 2 weeks in a row of 7.5 points or less, RB 30 and RB 22. He does have Bashal Tutin, but again, like, is Jacksonville's run defense or run offense, is it any good? That passing offense like hasn't been able really to open up. They've looked not great, but their defense is just keeping them in football games. So yeah, I worry about if he either has one guy go down. I think that actually could help his stock having Bashal Tutin
Yep.
as outright.
Yep.
Um, but if Bijan goes down, I mean, I think you could say that for anyone, right? Like, I just what I'm saying is depth. I'm really worried about depth for his football team.
Depth is bad. I mean, you got Worthy, who has looked very good thus far, but with Rashee Rice coming back, what's that going to look like? That seems like an offense that could just be kind of spreading the wealth. The saving grace is came at the expense of the commish with Tyreek getting hurt. Waddle is just getting peppered with targets now. I think he'll continue to get peppered with targets. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. They're a
Only
bad
wide
football
receiver
team.
12. Wide receiver 12 on
Wide
him.
receiver 12. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. Tua had this weird post game interview, kind of
Guys aren't
talking
showing up to
trash.
the meetings.
Yeah, I hate to see that from my quarterback talking to the press like that. I don't think the players really like Tua that much. But Waddle, at least for the time being, is going to continue to eat. Could he be another person that Miami just says we're folding the franchise and we move Waddle? I don't know. I've heard some very small murmurs, but would be interesting. What's a guy like Waddle going to do when the rest of your team's kind of a dumpster fire? I don't know. But he's looking good from a fantasy perspective right now.
I'll say this as an asterisk here, because I fully understand this, Dylan, probably more so than most people in the league. You do have Omarion Hampton, and that was the original decision was to have him as we're chopping on the running backs here. So I will be sure to point that out. I understand what you're going through. If we need therapy sessions, we meet at 5 o'clock in the morning at the local Whataburger for chicken minis and coffee. It's a therapy session for those fantasy managers who year after year have 3+ guys that were drafted early on go on the IR. It's rare. I am actually the leading member. I'm the vice president of the entire organization. So if you want to meet, please join us.
I'm glad that you guys have a support group. That's important.
It's
Um,
necessary.
you
Mental health.
know, Kendrick Bourne was a nice little scoop from old Dilly Poo this week. He had
Keep
18.
rolling. As long as those receivers are out there, like keep rolling that guy out there.
Yeah, he looks good. He has these flashes when he gets like the number one receiver treatment. He shows that he can do it. But obviously going forward, I don't know how consistent that'll be. So yeah, I think the knock on this team is depth. He also has McLaurin going to come back. That could help. Um,
It helps depth wise. There's something up with Terry. Like he's just, even when he's played this year, wide receiver 75, 54, and 34. So like something's something's different, something's off. I mean, Debo's there, right? Like I know that was there, but I mean, if you want the money, you got to play for the money. Or did he get it? He
he
got
got the
paid, right?
money.
He got
Yeah,
paid.
he got the money.
That's right.
Could be the
That's right.
classic, get the money, get the bag. This isn't as important to me right now.
I don't know. I don't think Terry, like he's a fiery guy. I don't think that's the situation, but you never know.
But yeah, decent team, 4-2 right now, so playing pretty well.
Hampton could have, if just make the playoffs. Hampton having him in the playoffs,
Yep.
come back for a playoff push would be huge.
Yep.
Moving on here to Battle Bears outright at 6.5.
Battle Bears.
Well, he,
He
he rolled out the Matty staff as we were alluding to earlier, thinking like, oh, licking the chops, 9.34. But he needs Lamar back badly,
needs Lamar back.
very badly. And I worry again, fast guys and hammies, like, he's expected to play this week. If he stays healthy, I just get the sense I don't know who the hell they're playing. He has so much pent up pissed offness on the whole
He
thing
might go off.
surrounding the Ravens. He might go for 50 points.
Yeah, he might go off.
He might literally run for 200 yards and pass for 300. I don't know. I just think like if you see him on the sideline, he just looks like he wants to murder someone just watching those football games. Um, Saquon, um, not the Saquon we remembered, but still RB13. So like not again, didn't lose your season. So he's been good. It's just not the same Saquon from last year. This was to be expected. I knew this in the dynasty league. I made the traded away from. I have, good decisions there. This is what happens. Get that many carries the year before, you tend to regress. Kyron Williams, again, probably the most boring running back in football.
Consistent.
But guess what? He's the James
Consistent.
Connors, all those guys that are boring and they get fucking 20 plus touches a game. They're in one of the brightest minds in football, and Sean McVay is your OC.
Scores touchdowns. He's I think RB8 on the year, so that was actually great value from where he
RB8.
got him. That's I think Lamar, Saquon, Kieran is a nice little nucleus to high volume guys that
Sutton's had a good don't Sutton's wide receiver 15. Sutton's quietly
Sutton's
had
good too.
he
Sutton's
always
good.
he kind of reminds me like he was believe me, hold on. Let me preface this. He is not nearly as good as Andre Johnson, Hall of Fame receiver
Yeah,
was.
whoa.
But what
Measuring
I'm
those two in
saying,
the
but what
same
I'm
breath.
saying, but what I'm saying is, well, just like Nico too, like the broad media doesn't view Cortland Sutton as an elite receiver. That's all I'm
Yep.
saying. Like
Yep,
no one ever views, no young kid knows who Cortland Sutton is outside of Denver, Colorado.
that's fair.
Um, Stefan Diggs was starting to get some more targets the past, 2 weeks prior to playing New Orleans, and then, kind of had a dud there. So I think things could pick up for him. Like I don't feel confident about it, but I don't think it's out of the realm the way Drake May's playing football. DeAndre Swift has his by far and away best game of the year against a poor Washington team. Has some good matchups coming up. Again, I like the offense there. I like the coach. So I think he'll still be able to be. I don't think he'll have these massive weeks all the time, but again, consistent. Like I think you have
He's gonna be solid, man.
three really consistent running backs, which again, just staying stable, and then hopefully you can have some boom weeks from some of these receivers or Lamar to kind of get you over the edge. Jalen Warren, again, the good thing too is you have crazy depth like Ramondre Stevenson, Jalen Warren, Jacoby Myers, Quentin Johnson. I know Quentin Johnson's hurt. Like again, still a pretty solid team. You get Lamar healthy, back on track. You start having some bigger weeks from Saquon, and they start figuring things out in Philadelphia. Um, this could be a good team. And Quentin Johnson again has been a revelation, wide receiver 11, even after missing a football game. So, yeah, we'll
Hey,
see.
Grizz is sitting at Battle Bears sitting at 4-2 right now, so he's in a
Good,
pretty good spot.
good
He's
football team.
he survived through he's .7 on the year, but 4-2, and yeah, I think it's a solid team.
Yep, yep, good football team. I think it's really over the next 8 weeks is what we have left. I think it's going to be really even. Like I don't think anyone's going to run away with it. I think Trumpster has a chance if his team gets healthy, but everyone else, I think it's pretty even keel. Um, After Battlebellers is the Kraken. So Tegan, you can go ahead and chop my team up.
Wait, how did the Kraken make its way up here on this list? Is that a little subjective fucking ranking from the
Oh,
co-host?
sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking at it. It was a three-way tie, same three-way tie. So Kraken, Nave, and Boss Hog all tied with a 9 average. I had the ranking as number 8 Kraken, 9 Nave, and 10 Boss Hog. Again, you had it as inverse: 8 Boss Hog, 9 Nave, 10 Kraken.
Okay, we'll start with Boss Hog. The guy's 5-1 right now. He just sent a text in the group text, actually said, here's the text. PR team at the conglomerate got word we're going to be ranked quite low. New York Post commish hit piece also coming out tomorrow. No correlation. Love that. But he knew he put that statement out there because he in his heart of hearts knows his team is not a 5-1 team. He's got points
Hold
of
on.
eighth year. He's
Hold
eighth in
on.
overall points.
Let me
Cody has a fun
I got the
fact.
stats. I got the stats. Boss Hog has only scored more than 100 points once over the first 6 weeks, and that was 104.98, so just barely over it. His average per week is 84.76. Fun fact, if myself, the squid man of all, the Kraken, had Boss Hog's schedule, I would be a 4-2 football team. I'd be a 4-2 football team. It just goes to show, I feel like this guy year after year is just I don't know whose balls he licked up there in heaven, but they are sure giving him just a nice little
He's got the
roll
fantasy
out the red
gods.
carpet, roll it out.
Yeah, the team is just not that great.
Just gross.
I think like the running backs, you got Kenneth Walker, Brian Robinson, and
Derrick
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's had a pretty
That's bad.
rough year.
Kenneth Walker's getting outsnapped by Charbonnet when they play the same weeks. Um, Derrick Henry, pretty bad thus far. I think Lamar coming back will help him certainly.
Yep.
Ryan Robinson, obviously a non-factor until McCaffrey or if McCaffrey gets hurt. So the running backs are very bad. Herbert, had a couple splash weeks to begin the year. Then he's kind of come back to earth. The Chargers actually have not scored more than 2 touchdowns since week 1, which
See, okay,
wild.
can we talk about this again? I brought this up at the start of the year. Everyone just goes rah over whoever. Do you remember New Orleans was it last year? New Orleans was a revelation. with Clint Kubiak or whoever the hell it was running the helm at OC. Like, just give it more time and like you kind of see what happens. Like the Texans, it was a dumpster fire, burn it all down. Now I know again, like the two teams they've torched, they're not great defenses. So this is a big matchup against Seattle, who's a really good defense. But I think like you gotta wait to see. Like I don't think the Chargers are a bad offense. Again, they've had Amara and Hampton hurt. They had Slater go down. Like they've been bit by some of the injury, but Quentin Johnson's gone down. So like correlation there. I get it, but I'm just saying like they're not this revelation offense all of a sudden. Like they're probably middle of the pack.
Yeah, I would agree. And then you got Ladd, who's been a disappointment all year until last week. He had a good week last week. I think with if Johnson continues to be hurt, more targets for Ladd. When Johnson comes back, he was getting wide receiver one treatment. So I don't know Ladd's, going forward looking basis, how consistent he'll be. Odunze has been very good this year. If you watch the game last night, he
Tough.
had he had an 80-yard touchdown that Caleb Williams underthrew him, and then he had a touchdown called back because the left tackle was an inch behind where he should have been.
Bullshit.
Maybe the fix was in, but Odunze had four. He could have legitimately had 30.
The bright spots, it's kind of funny on this football team is the receiver and the double stack tight
The
end.
double stack tight end is fantastic. If I'm Boss Hog, I'm working the trade lines right
How
now
can you not?
because
How can
there's
you
no
not?
reason to keep those two guys. I mean, I guess Tyler Warren and they're damn near receivers, so I guess you could say what's the point of trading one? But those guys are, I think they're tight end 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 on the year. So you got two absolute stud tight ends week in and week out. That's the saving grace. And then Matthew Golden, who's also on the team, he's shown flashes. He's starting to get more and more playing time. But the
Spread
Packers
the ball
just
too
spread the
much. They
ball.
just don't like wide receiver ones.
No, they spread the ball, and I don't think Golden can be a consistent week in and week out player because they spread the ball. He'll definitely have some boom weeks, but I just don't know if you want to roll him out every week and then you're
Tough
putting
to
him on the bench when he goes off. You're starting him when he goes for 6. It's just going to be tough all year with him.
classic. Uh,
So
uh,
also, yeah, you're 5-1, but got a feeling that record's going to revert to the mean throughout the rest of the season.
Go ahead, Kraken or Nave, which one you want?
We'll go with Nave, save the Kraken for last. Nave is getting saved by Patty Mahomes, who also is having an MVP season right now
Which
and
is
is about
nuts.
to
'Cause
get
if
his
you
best.
remember last year, he wasn't a top maybe
No, I don't
20
think he
quarterback.
scored more than 20 points, but like twice all last year.
It's insane. It's because he's the leading rusher for Kansas City right now, which is insane. As okay, we're about to talk about the Kraken. Pacheco averages like 5 yards a carry, and for some godly reason, they just don't. They give him five carries a game.
Well, here's what the Chiefs do, and they've done this for Mahomes' 10-year career, is they're very malleable. They year by year their offense looks different and they adjust to the playmakers around them.
By
A couple
Andy Reid's
years
best.
couple years ago they were a fucking pound the rock and defense team. Now Mahomes is slinging it around, running for first downs. The guy's back at his MVP level. They got two absolute speed burners on the outside. Then they got Rashee Rice coming back.
Also
Kelsey
speed
still
burner.
Kelsey's still doing little wiggle routes in the middle of the field, getting first downs when he needs to. Mahomes has just looked dialed in, and that's been saving Senior Buey. But then after that, it gets pretty ugly. The two running backs are just atrocious.
Let's be
Uh,
honest, though. I don't think anyone saw what's happening to Chase Brown. I think
no,
you even
well,
said it yourself. I will fully say it that I wanted Chase
I
Brown.
love Chase Brown.
I don't. No one saw this coming.
Yeah, when the whole offense as a whole, the offensive line was always an issue, right? But Burrow was able to
Overcome
mitigate those issues. But now with Burrow
passing
back
opportunities.
there, it's just bad. I mean, we read a stat a couple weeks ago, like the guy was averaging negative yards before contact. I don't know if that changed after last week. He had 9 for 42. Maybe he got slightly over 0 yards before contact, but it's not looking great for Brown. And then he's rolling out Charbonnet. Um, Man, he's got Charbonnet, Brown, and Justice Hill as his three running backs. That's got to be, one of the worst in the league, if not the worst.
No, don't worry, you haven't seen mine yet.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't seen yours yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think where he could have some boom weeks is Mike Evans coming back, Nico, Tedero
McMillan
McMillan.
is finding his own a little bit here. The targets have been there all year.
Yep.
I mean, 8+ targets in every single game except for last week, which happened to be his highest scoring week, funny enough. Um, but McMillan's been solid. What is he? Wide receiver. He's top 30, wide receiver 21. So
21. And
good
he got
value
Jordan
there.
Jordan Addison has looked pretty good coming off of the bye.
Yes.
He had a couple good weeks. So I think the receiving core is actually pretty solid.
Is there a
Uh,
timetable on Aaron Jones's return? Is that
I don't know with Aaron Jones. I mean, who knows?
for a week 8 return? So that would be in. So they got bye week this. No, bye week. No, they just had the bye week. So they play Philadelphia this week. Be back next week against the Chargers.
Yeah, so that could help Benning. And then honestly, Goddard's had a hell of a year. He's at tight end 3 on the year.
Fuck, I
Uh,
can't stand looking at Goddard because apparently he's, wide receiver one over, two of the top paid receivers in football or, most respected. Absolutely insane. Go ahead. Go do
yeah,
go do the Kraken analysis.
we'll do it. Yeah, that's a team that's going to miss the playoffs, though. Unfortunately, Nave. Just don't forget to set your lineup. Come on, be better. Um, Here goes the Kraken. We dogged on the team the first pod. He puts up about 120, 130. Right after that, got a little quick jolt. The Kraken came up to the sea and then got speared by about 30 seamen. And now he's back at the depths of the
Don't,
sea.
don't talk
He's
about putting semen on anything
he,
on me.
he got splashed with semen all over the Kraken. And he is at the depths of the sea. He's got, like he said, maybe the worst running back combo in the league. I would put you at a slight notch ahead of Benning, maybe with J.K. Dobbins and Pacheco. And then you got Michael Carter, Bam Knight, little double Arizona combo, hoping the cream rises to the top there. Uh,
There's certain running backs. I actually have three. I have the entire
you have Trey Benson on the IR.
only person I'm missing outside of the Cardinals running back team is DeMarcado. I own three running backs on the Cardinals.
So you got your heavy Cardinals out. They got a ground and pound offense. We're gonna ride that till the brakes go off. So I don't know what you're
No, I'm
doing.
fucking watching fantasy football now, and Adam Schefter comes out last week. He's like, recent news here. It looks like Bam Knight's going to get the nod as running back. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? What did Michael Carter do wrong? And like, Michael Carter got the bulk of the carries, but Bam Knight falls into the end zone. Or actually, no, Bam Knight actually outcarried him. But yeah, look, it doesn't help when your first overall pick is out for the season. Not to mention, could you imagine him with Jackson Dart?
Would have been good.
Could you have imagined him with Jackson Dart?
It would have been good. It would have
and
been
then
good.
your
But your
third
receivers are
overall,
looking solid, dude. I mean, honestly, I think DK's had some good weeks. Drake London just had
DK's had a great year. His wide receiver 16. He's had a good year. AJ Brown needs to be more fucking consistent. And I don't think that's going to be a thing. My saving grace here is George Kittle looks like he's supposed to return this week.
yep.
And so again, I lost Malik Neighbors and George Kittle, and then Trey Benson. So I had three guys go put on IR. I'm now getting at least one of them back. And Kittle, hopefully, is going to be a huge injection. And Hunter Henry's been a great, very serviceable plug-in tight end. Um, Shows them as tight end 8, but again, I think they had their bye. No, they haven't had a bye. But he's won me a game or he's won me, I think, one game with that 25 point outing. But look, on paper, man, to me, it doesn't look that fucking bad. Like Caleb Williams and Justin Fields, I'm playing best matchup here, and Justin Fields has been really fucking great when he plays shitty football teams. Caleb Williams has been, he's QB 12 right now, and that's counting a bye week. So he's looked really good with some very
He's
juicy
got a
matchups coming.
fantastic schedule coming up.
Great schedule coming up. I need my running backs to get 10 points. That's all I want is 10 fucking points from my running backs. I need Trey Benson to come
You
back.
talking about 10 each or 10 combined? Because I think right now at the pace you're going,
No,
10
10 each. I need 10
okay.
each.
That's wishful
I need
thinking.
them to, which Dobbins has done that for the whole year except for last week.
That's fair.
Dobbins has done that the entire year except for last week. AJ, if I'm going to make a push, AJ Brown has to somehow be more consistent, and I need 10 points from running back. Kittle will be a huge injection into the football team. I think we have a shot here. I've had some really shoddy decisions on starters, um, and ad drops. I got to be better. I have 8 weeks to prove myself to my GM. I'm gonna fucking get back in the gracious of those of which we call the Krakenites. And I will go down to the depths, send my apologies, and we will swim up with a vengeance. Not 8 tentacles, but 64 tentacles. We're gonna be coming up just as a swarm of fucking Krakens. I
Yeah,
think we're fine. We have some big weeks. We just we gotta one game at a time. One game. You know what? We have a great matchup this week to get us started right. Schmig, I think, look, your team's great. You have a great team, Schmig. I would never hurt on your team, but I think this is going to be a great matchup for us. I'm ahead of the time. I'm going to respect the fantasy gods. I want to bash your team so much, but you know what? I'm going to be respectful because if I bash you too hard, it'll be a joke on the Kraken, and I'll be the first person to lose to you the entire year.
let's go to Kaiser Sose coming in at 11. Kaiser Sose, you got, I think, RB1 on the year. Yeah, RB1 on the year with Jonathan Taylor. But that's about where it ends when we
No,
talk
it's not about it. It is where it ends. Um, I'll take that back. Ricky Pearsall has been good.
and
Uh,
he's got Justin Jefferson.
yeah,
So you got two splash players, but the rest of the team is just
not
not
good.
looking great. Krosky Merritt, I think he could be solid the rest of the year. He's getting RB1 treatment. He looks like a pretty good back. So I don't hate Krosky Merritt, but then the receiving core, Trey Tucker, boomer bust every week. Marvin Harrison just got
No, no, no,
concussed.
not boom or bust every week. He's had one week,
One
one
boom week.
38-point week.
Yep, and he's had a couple 12, 9, and 9. That's not going to get it done. Marvin Harrison can cuss now, but has been a pretty much a disappointment most of the year. Has had 3 of the 6 weeks has been under 6 points. So you can't like that.
If you want any hope of coming back, you really need Travion Henderson to become the RB1 in New England, which it doesn't sound like is going to happen, which I'm with you. I think the talent is there. Ramondre's had fumbling issues. I don't know what the loyalty is. Maybe Vrabel just he
Blackmail
hard
potentially.
nosed guys. I like hard nosed guys. I don't know. Maybe Henderson can't pick up blitzes. I know that's a big thing for
I
guys.
don't know, man. There's something about Henderson when I see him on the football field. His lack of swagger and juice. He kind of looks like the guy that tried out for the middle school team and just doesn't really know that much about football. His swagger on the field just doesn't he
Not gonna
doesn't look
play.
like a splashy RB. Like I look at Krosky Merritt, that guy's got some juice. You look at Henderson, you're like, man, I don't know. Not to say I'm counting him out or anything, but just the juice factor is at a 0 for me. So maybe
Be
that's
honest.
some.
This football team look anywhere close to my football team?
No,
Thank you. This is a bad football team,
this is bad. This is
and,
bad.
and somehow I'm just kidding, Tanner. You have a great football team. You have
Let's
really
go to let's go to the Schmig. Kaiser, we had enough there. There's not a whole lot to talk about. So the Schmig. So we actually increased our financing and our fundraising last year. We doubled it. I believe we doubled it. We doubled the.
We're having a tap in the line of credits at this point.
Yeah, we're actually taking out a small SBA 50C3 loan. to help pay for maybe the next couple years because we're thinking the struggle could continue to run. The Schmig is
Actually, looking into donor advised funds as well.
yeah,
We're exploring all forms of private
it's
equity backing, seed
it's just
funding.
bad, man. It's just bad. I think he's on pace to potentially set all-time records for the worst
We
team
have
ever.
the stats. I remember, I do keep track of every single year of
Yeah,
points. So
it's gotta be on pace for that right now. He has yet to exceed 90 points. 89 is his high on the week. And you look at the team, and I was talking to Schmig. I said maybe you got to hit the trade line. The problem is he doesn't have anybody that's appealing enough to trade. So that's where the issue is. Maybe Brian Thomas is going to start garnering some interest, but rolling out Kareem Hunt and Tony Pollard, Keon Coleman, Jawan Johnson, Devontae Smith. I mean, it's just been an absolute dumpster fire. Chuba Hubbard's coming back from injury. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Woody Marks. I mean, Brock Bowers has been injured, so that
they
was his
just said, literally, quote unquote, from Pete Carroll. Look at the long haul of it. It might be best to guarantee he's full speed and back. So,
he's out for a while.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just bad. There's not a whole lot to talk about here except for just another year of just awful drafting from top to bottom. I could go out on a limb and say you didn't make a single right selection in the entire draft process, which is hard to do.
no,
With
it's no.
14 picks, you would think you'd hit on one of them.
Woody Marks. Woody Marks is the only one.
I guess we can give him Woody Marks. He's had 1 week above 5, so yeah, that's a good pick. He had
True,
a
true,
20
true. I'm talking about like value, right? Like Chuba Hubbard, I guess, was like right where he should have been. Brock Bowers, you can't hurt him because I mean he's been injured, right? So even
It's
then,
just
when
bad.
he wasn't injured, like tight end 2, which is great, but then tight end 16, tight end 14, tight end 19. That's not a guy you get at the turn on the 1-2 turn.
No, it's bad, Schmig. At this point, man, I think
Be a dynasty guy, man. Like
yeah,
maybe you should drop our league.
you put your best foot forward each week, and you just try your best, and maybe you light a candle before Sunday comes around. You say a little
Sacrifice
prayer.
a small goat, rabbit,
A small goat might be needed.
the larger the animal, the higher chance that the sacrifice is lifted to God, and He's happy with that
Yeah,
sacrifice.
you're gonna need to go into Tanzania and maybe find the missing Sasquatch to sacrifice. I think that's the only way this team turns around.
Or good news for you, Tanner. They actually just found a way from DNA to bring back woolly mammoths.
Oh, that's the
So
key. That's
that now again, you're going to have to wait for that mammoth. I think it takes about 3 to 4 years for full growth on that mammoth. But then
2029 could be his year.
could be it. We just
2029 could
we
be your
do
year.
need now we will not provide our funding from your getting into the league. That would not be used for mammoth purchases.
No, that's a misallocation of resources. We
That,
cannot
that
do.
would
We
be
have bylaws. We have to stick to them.
yeah.
But we will provide you with as much resources and contacts to get that mammoth on the
Maybe
right track.
start a pack. Maybe start like a help my fantasy football team not be shitty pack. Like it could be.
Yeah, we need to start another fundraiser. I think we need to have a bilateral fundraiser going on. It's just man, it's just hard to look at. It's hard to look at. It makes me sick just looking at this team. So
The biggest thing, and we'll wrap up here. This has been a really long pod, but I think it was supposed to be with the power rankings and us missing 2 weeks to try and give you guys some good content. I really hope you guys actually fucking watch this far. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much. I'm like 90% of you probably dropped off and when I say 90%, I guess that's what one, not even, maybe like half a person has made it this far, if that even exists. Just
hey, we had 14 viewers last week, Cody. I don't understand.
um, but anyway, Schmig, we talked about this phone call before the draft happened. I'm at work speaking to you, and you're like, yeah, man, just really realizing like, I always draft guys a year too early, and that's why my dynasty team's great. So I think I know what I'm doing this year. I think this is, I understand I can't draft that way. Well, I'm not sure whether you did that or not, because either way, even if you did do it that way, bad football team all the way
It's just
around.
bad all around.
Really bad football team. I wish you nothing but luck in the upcoming. If you're deciding to sacrifice any sort of animal, it would be greatly appreciated if you could push that off 1 week for cleansing and having keeping holy the Sabbath and waiting the traditional 7 days before you need to bathe the goat in lavender and oil and rub the hair with sheep's wool. Um, but after the 7 days is up, feel free to cut that fucker's splash the blood out everywhere. Maybe you know. Maybe sacrifice it for Tegan's new child. Say, God, thank you for this new child and bringing it into this world. Wait till they're born. Wait till they're born, and then sacrifice for things.
Well, that wraps up. I had some fun facts, but again, we're an hour and a half into it. If you're still watching, the code is whammy, whammy. Text whammy to the group text if you watch this far. We appreciate it. Love you guys.
Dude, we're doing that every week now, but we can't always do that. We
Next
can't do
week's
that.
code is Spumoni.
We can't do it at the end of the pod because then they're just gonna scroll to the fucking end to see it. We gotta throw it in about 3/4 of the way, keep them honest. But to rate that's so good. Whammy, whammy with an H,
Text
WHAMY
whammy. We got
exclamation.
preseason tickets for the Texans next year. If you text whammy, you're the first whammy texter. You could win preseason tickets.
All right, guys, best of luck. Week 7. Here we go.
See ya.